Hey guys, my name's Dennis Hurst. I'm the owner here at Ryland Gardens. This year we're going to take some time to talk about the things we do here at the nursery, how we maintain the gardens, what goes into our daily work, and just a lot about how we maintain the plantings that we have around here. Today we're in the shade garden and it's early spring, and I'll be showing you guys how to prune a hydrangea here in the garden. So this in here is called Great Star. This is one of the more of the tree form hydrangeas, and it's been in the garden for about 5-6 years, actually more like 7 years. It's been here a little while, and I've been keeping it somewhat smaller than what it would want to grow to. The idea is to keep it around the 6 to 7 foot range in height, and then also keeping it off the ground a little bit, so I can still have some more stuff planted down below it. So early spring is the best time to prune these guys, and they have a kind of a unique growth system here where you got to be careful where you cut, or you'll end up with a lot of excess dead wood. And something to think about when you're pruning your plant is what shape do you want to end up with? How do you want it to grow going forward? So I've been working at this for a couple of years. Started out pretty small. It was only about 3 feet tall when I put it in. In about 2 years' time, it started sending up a lot of shoots, going up pretty high. And this last year, it grew almost 3 feet on top from where I had last pruned it. So it's time for a good pruning, and I'm gonna walk you guys through how I'm hoping to give it a new shape and get it ready for this year's growth and flowering without it getting too top heavy and falling apart later. So if they're pruned properly, you can keep one of these for quite a long time. I've seen plenty of them that are 20 years old and still looking great, but it's a matter of maintenance. So if you want to keep your hydrangea just in good shape, you're going to want to keep a good pruning regimen every year. It's very simple. It's once a year pruning, and yeah, once and done. Probably one of the easiest ones we have here in the garden for pruning is yeah, it's a very simple process. It's a once and done process. It probably isn't simple, but it is only once a year that you've got to be working at it. So, so yeah, I'll show you guys how I'm going to prune this here, and hopefully you guys can do the same at your house. All right, so the first thing you want to do is kind of figure out the structure. I've been looking at this here, and I'd like to prune out this branch. So I've got two competing branches are side by side. This one in the middle has got to go. So I'm going to cut this guy out right there. And then for above here, if you look closely, you can see joints. There's joints there, all up through there, spaced about 5 inches apart. What you want to do is prune directly above one of those joints. If you were to cut it anywhere in between here, it's going to die back all the way down to the next set of buds. So to minimize your dead tips there, you want to go right above those joints, and that way there won't be a lot of excess dead wood on there. And then when you find your beginning point, your beginning height, you want to start to make a bit of a mound, so that way it tapers off nicely. You don't want it flat. That never turns out well. It's just, yeah, plants are not naturally flat, so you want to avoid that. And while you're in here, you can also prune out some of the smaller branches that are going to kind of get in the way. This little guy is sort of tight, and take that one out. And anything that's really small, you can eliminate those too. A lot of times the really small ones will actually dry up on their own, and they'll just fall off later. So here in the bottom, I was trying to figure out if I want to lift this one up a little bit higher, but we can always take that off later. I've got plenty of space down here for the neighboring plants, so I want to keep this one fuller for longer. So if I wanted it higher, I could lift it up and have it start at about, have all the foliage coming out about 4 feet up. That would give you a lot more room for extra, larger plants down below. But so far, things are working out pretty good here. I've got a couple of nice hosta underneath it, and the tops of the hosta almost meet up with the bottom of the hydrangea, so we're good there. So yeah, it's probably going to nip some of these back a little bit and give us some more space. And but overall, for this year, we're just going to be reducing the top and trying to make a more rounded, more balanced shape, and nothing too major this year. You can always come back later and cut harder. You can't put stuff back on. So I hate to cut off too much at once, because yeah, I don't like to lose parts of the plant that my plant tried to grow and fill in, and just cutting it off. So yeah, sometime later I'll probably limit up a little bit higher. This does have a nice trunk in here that comes up and spreads out. So that could make a really nice shape down the road. But we're going to keep this intact for now, and just give it a haircut. Another thing you want to do when you're pruning your plant is check for dead wood. Anything that's dead can be pruned out. A lot of times you'll find some dead branches down towards the center, and you can just trim those right against the trunk, wherever they come out at. And yeah, this whole section right here is dried up. And yeah, I'm just going to take that one off. And this one's a little bit dried up too, so I'm going to pull that guy. And let's see, that's pretty good for this one here. There's a lot of finer branches in the front. They will not be producing extra large flowers. They will bloom, but they're generally not that heavy. Most of your heavier, larger blooms will be set on the your more vigorous branches. So it's more important to get these trimmed, and your smaller stuff. It'll produce a smaller flower, but this will not be putting on nearly as much weight. So yeah, at some point I'm probably going to be taking most of this off, but like I said, we're gonna let that go about like that for this season. And yeah, so we can probably maintain it at this height for quite a while. What I'll be doing next year is probably pruning it either right above, so it's going to grow out from these joints and spread out there. So you can see last year it was cut right there, and this year I've cut it here. Now there are still buds down below, so I could take off 2 years, 2 seasons of growth, and prune it back to here. Would be 3 seasons. So next year I'd be cutting off a bunch and taking it back down to here again. So then we could repeat this process for another 2 years and still be at the same height of the plant at that time. So like I said, you can keep these going for a very long time, and they're very simple to maintain, and they'll provide you with a lot of beauty in summer and through the fall. So yeah, that's how I prune my tree hydrangeas. Hey guys, thanks for watching. To see more of our videos, don't forget to like and subscribe and click the notification bell so you can see when new videos get uploaded. And we'll see you again soon.